Santa's First Christmas is a really unique idea, and I discovered this when I was looking at Christmas shorts on Letterboxd, and the description sounded really fascinating. And having watched it, I can say that it is actually quite delightful. It is one of those Christmas animations that's definitely more appealing to children. There are some Christmas animations that have a more, family appeal, but this one definitely feels a bit more juvenile, if you like, which is absolutely fine. But the narrative itself was actually really interesting. This was released in 1992, the year of my birth, despite me being roughly the target audience. I don't remember having ever seen it or even heard of it. It's directed by Les Orton, written by Andrew Offiler and Robin Lyons, and it is, as you can imagine, all about Santa's first Christmas. And it actually starts off with Santa as a young boy, and his mother calls him Santa, and it's very weird hearing this young boy being called Santa. When obviously when we think of Santa, we think of him as being an older man with a big beard and not this young little sweet boy. And it's all about how he got the idea for Christmas and what it was like putting together this first Christmas and the various problems that they encountered. And that sounds fascinating, and it really is. I think they took a really interesting concept and ran with it and did a really good job of it. So, as I said, it does feel more like a child's cartoon than a family animation. But that's in terms, the vocabulary, the way the viewer is addressed. There is a reindeer who does actually directly address the viewer, which I think is again another fun concept that I wasn't expecting to see, and that worked very well as well. The language and things definitely, the bits of humor that are in it here and there, definitely more childlike. But the concept is so interesting that I was able to be kind of engaged throughout it, and it kept me hooked. I was fascinated to see what would happen next, and I really genuinely thoroughly enjoyed it. Surprised to see it's got 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb, but that is only across 19 reviews and ratings, which is obviously not a massive pool of opinions. And I would love to know what you think of it if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it, if only so you can come and share your views so I can find out what you think. Because I genuinely found it to be a really fascinating idea, and I think they did a really good job of it. There are things, there were other directions they could have taken it, and they could have told this story in a different way or from a different perspective. But personally, I feel the creative decisions that were made worked very well. I should also point out this is not the traditional story of how Santa Claus came to be. Um, if you're aware of kind of who Saint Nick was in the kind of story or legend, I guess, behind what he used to do for children every Christmas. It's not that story. It is completely, well, creative, if you like. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. The style of animation is quite cute. It's not completely to my taste. There are certain styles of animations that I favour more than others. But there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing about this that I thought was, you know, bad or that I would want to be done differently. As I said, they could have taken a different direction with it. But actually, I think it worked quite well, and I really enjoyed it. I had high hopes that it was going to be a very fun, different, unique story. That's exactly what was delivered. I genuinely liked Santa's First Christmas.